Hello there, and welcome to Sleepy Galaxy Channel. Tonight we are going to travel a long way from your bed, all the way out past the asteroids, and past the great striped face of Jupiter, out to a place that circles the ringed planet Saturn, a moon called Titan. And there is a question waiting for us there, a question that folds back on itself like a soft riddle. And the question is this: how can a world be, at one and the same time, the place in all the solar system that most resembles the Earth beneath you, and also the place least like anything you have ever known? How can somewhere feel like home and feel utterly foreign in the very same breath? Because Titan is both. It has rain, and rivers, and broad dark seas, and a thick amber sky, and weather that rolls in over its horizon, much the way weather rolls in over your own. And yet the rain there is not water. The rivers there are not water. The seas that lap at its shores are made of something else entirely, something that on Earth would be a whisper of gas thinner than breath, gathered on that distant moon into pooling liquid, cold enough to still every warm thing you have ever touched. That is the paradox we will hold tonight, turning it over slowly, the way you might turn a smooth stone in your fingers in the dark. And we will explore it across a whole handful of unhurried movements. We will look at that strange familiar sky and the thick air you could almost lean against. We will wander down to the shorelines of its lakes and imagine standing there. We will follow the story of how curious people, over long careful years, came to know this place at all, mostly by sending a small brave machine to fall through its clouds. We will drift, at one point, letting the whole scene carry us the way a slow current carries a leaf. And near the end, we will pull back, far back, until Titan is a small pale point again, and think about what its strangeness might tenderly say about the ordinary Earth turning under your window right now. If at any point you feel this is easing you towards sleep, and you would like to help this quiet channel, a like or a subscribe helps the channel reach others who are also lying awake in the dark, others who are hoping for exactly this kind of long, slow voice to carry them down. It costs you nothing, and you can do it now or later or never, whichever feels easiest. But none of that is anything you need to hold on to. None of the facts, none of the names, none of the numbers we will pass through. You do not have to remember any of it. You do not have to follow the thread or keep the pieces in order. If your mind wanders off mid-sentence and comes drifting back a while later, that is exactly right. That is the whole idea. So settle in now. Let your shoulders ease down, away from your ears, and feel the weight of you sinking a little deeper into the mattress. Let your jaw loosen. Let your hands rest wherever they have fallen. Let's begin. We should begin with the sky, because on Titan the sky is the first thing that would take hold of you, the first thing that would tell you, all at once, that you are both home and impossibly far from home. Imagine you are standing on its surface. Above you there is no black star-pricked emptiness, the way there is above the airless moon that hangs over your own nights. Above you instead is a dome of soft orange, a hazy amber ceiling that goes on and on, a color like weak tea held to a lamp, like honey thinned with light, like the inside of an eyelid closed against a warm afternoon. This is a world wrapped in air. Titan is the only moon in the entire solar system with a real atmosphere, a thick, genuine blanket of gas, and it is not a thin one. If you have ever imagined other worlds as bare rock under hard vacuum, Titan quietly breaks that picture. The air there presses down harder than the air here does, about half again as much as the atmosphere that rests on your own skin at sea level. A fullness you might feel as a faint held pressure, like being a swimmer just below the surface of a calm pool. The water not yet deep, but present all around you. And that air is mostly nitrogen, which is the very same gas that makes up most of what you are breathing right now, in and out, slow and even, in your own room. Nearly 4 out of every 5 molecules entering your lungs at this moment is nitrogen, and on Titan, nearly every molecule in that enormous amber sky is that same patient gas. So there is the first thread of kinship pulled taut between here and there. The two atmospheres, hundreds of millions of miles apart, are built mostly from the same simple ingredient. If some part of the air on Titan is familiar to your own chest, then the strangeness is only in the rest of it, in the haze, in the trace of methane that tints the sky and thickens into cloud, in the fact that a single breath of it would be far too cold and far too starved of oxygen to keep you. But we are not really breathing it tonight. We are only standing under it, in imagination, letting that orange ceiling stretch overhead, letting the sheer softness of the light settle over the scene like a dimmer turned low. The light itself is worth staying with for a moment, because it is unlike any light you have known, and yet it is not frightening, it is only muted. Titan is a long way from the sun, so far that the sun there is a small thing, a bright coin, rather than the great warm lamp of your own sky. And then that already faint sunlight has to sink down through all that haze, that thick orange smog, before it can reach the ground. By the time it arrives at the surface, the day is dim. Dim as the last minutes of a long dusk. Dim as a room lit by one shaded bulb in a far corner. It is never truly bright there, never a glaring noon. It is a world held permanently in a kind of gloaming, an endless tender twilight, the light you get when the sun has gone down behind the trees but has not yet fully left the air. And there is something restful in that, isn't there? Something that the body recognizes. Your own eyes soften in low light. Your own pulse slows as the evening comes on. On Titan, the evening never fully ends, and so, standing there in imagination, you might feel your shoulders drop even further, the way they drop when the lamps come on and the day's demands finally release their grip. Let that be the first movement, then a sky that is orange where yours is blue, dim where yours is bright, thick where you expected thin, and yet made of the very breath in your body. A sky that is foreign and familiar in the same held moment. Nothing to solve there, nothing to fix. Just a soft, strange ceiling far away, and you beneath it, sinking a little deeper into the quiet. Now let us bring our gaze down from that amber dome to the ground itself, because the ground of Titan is its own kind of wonder, and its own kind of homecoming. When the first pictures came back from its surface, long ago now, from a small machine that had fallen all the way down through the haze, the people who saw them fell silent, because what they were looking at was so eerily ordinary. There, on the screen, in the dim orange light, was a plain of what looked like rounded stones, cobbles scattered across a flat floor, each one smoothed and worn, each one nestled into the surface as though it had been resting there for ages. It looked, more than anything, like the bed of a dry stream, like a place where water had once run and tumbled the rocks smooth and then drained away. Anyone who has ever walked along a riverbed in late summer, where the water has retreated and left the pale, worn stones behind, would have known that landscape in their bones. But the stones were not stone, or not the kind you know. In that deep cold, the rounded cobbles scattered across Titan's floor are very likely made of water ice, water frozen so hard, so far below any temperature you have ever felt, that it behaves like rock, that it can be shaped and rounded and worn the way granite is worn here. Water, the most familiar substance in all your life, the thing you drink and wash in and float in, made so cold that it becomes the bedrock of another world. And the smoothing of those stones, the rounding of their edges, was done not by water, but by another liquid entirely. A liquid that had flowed across them long enough and often enough to wear them down. So there it is again, the paradox turning over. A dry-streamed, utterly familiar, every rounded stone speaking of water and current and time, and yet the stones are frozen water playing the part of rock, and the current that shaped them was never water at all. Home and away, held in a single glance across a dim orange plain. And this is where our thread for the night begins to gather itself, the image we will return to again and again as we go, coming back to it the way you return to a doorway you know well in the dark. Picture a shore. A familiar shore, the kind you have stood on before, where the land slopes down to meet a wide, flat water and the small waves come in one after another and turn themselves over against the sand. You know that shore. Your body knows it, the sound of it, the long hush and draw of the tide, the way the light lies down flat across the wet ground when the water pulls back. Hold that shore in your mind, because everything we visit on Titan tonight is a version of it, a familiar shore under an unfamiliar sky. The waves are there, but they are slower and thicker, and they move in a strange, easy heaviness. The rain is there, but it falls in fat, lazy drops that drift down through the air, rather than rushing. The rivers are there, cutting their channels through the land exactly the way rivers do. And the lakes are there, dark and calm and mirror still under the orange ceiling. All of it real, all of it recognizable, all of it made of something other than what you expect, and somehow, strangely, all of it soothing. A shore you know, beneath a sky you do not. We will walk back to that shore many times before the night is through. So let us walk to it now, down to the edge of one of Titan's seas. Because Titan has seas, real standing bodies of liquid on its surface, and that alone makes it rare and precious in the whole solar system. Aside from the Earth turning beneath you, Titan is the only world we know where liquid pools openly on the ground, where you could stand at a shoreline and look out across an expanse of level fluid stretching to a far horizon. Everywhere else the surfaces are dry, or frozen hard, or hidden. Only here and there is there this second place with open seas, and the largest of Titan's seas is a broad, dark expanse near its north pole, a body of liquid so wide that if you stood on one shore you could not see the other, a sea larger than any of the great lakes of your own world, hundreds of miles across, deep in places, still and dark and patient under the haze. But wade a step closer in your imagination, dip a hand toward that surface, and the strangeness returns, gentle and complete. This sea is not water. It is made of methane and ethane, substances that on your own warm world are gases, invisible, the sort of thing that hisses from a stove burner or drifts unseen through a marsh. On Titan it is so cold that these gases have given up their restlessness and settled into liquid, clear and thin and frigid, colder than anything your skin has ever met, a cold so deep that water itself could never flow there, could only stand frozen as those rounded stones. You could not swim in it as you swim in a summer lake, and even if you could, the liquid would be lighter than water, thinner, so that you would sit lower in it, and it would part around you more easily, and it would carry the faint chemical sweetness of fuel rather than the mineral coolness of a mountain stream. And yet, for all that, it is a sea. It has waves, small and slow and gentle, rippling across its face when the faint winds pass. It has tides, rising and falling as Saturn's great pull tugs at it. It has bays and inlets and islands and rivers feeding into it. It is a sea in every way that matters to the eye, and only in its substance is it a thing from another world. There is our shore again, familiar water that is not water, calm and dark, and strangely kind. Stay at that shoreline a while. Notice how quiet it is. Sound would travel through that thick air differently than it does through yours. A little deeper, a little slower, carried well by the dense atmosphere, so that the small lapping of the liquid against the shore would reach you clear and low, a soft repeated folding, over and over, the way the tide folds against the sand of the shore you already know. There is no rush there. Everything on Titan happens slowly. The waves are slow because the liquid is different, and the pull of gravity is light. Only about 1/7 of the gravity that holds you to your bed right now. So that everything there rises and falls with a dreamy, weightless ease. Drops falling slow, waves cresting slow, the whole world moving as if underwater, as if in the deep, unhurried tempo of the moments just before sleep. If you dropped a pebble of ice into that sea, the splash would rise up lazily and hang and settle back down as though it had all the time in the universe, which, out there, it does. Let that be a place to rest for a moment. The dark sea, the orange sky, the slow, small waves, nothing asked of you, just the low fold of a strange tide against a shore you somehow know. Now I want to tell you the story of how we came to know any of this at all, because it is a slow and patient story, and slow, patient stories are good ones to hear as the night settles. For most of human history, Titan was not even a name. It was nothing, not even a rumor, because no eye could see it. It hangs so far away that it took the invention of the telescope before anyone knew it was there at all. Long ago, when the first crude spyglasses were turned up toward Saturn, a careful watcher noticed a faint point of light riding along beside the ringed planet, a small companion that moved with it night after night, and understood that Saturn had a moon. That was all anyone knew of Titan for a very long time. A dot. A single faint dot of light, holding its steady place beside the rings, keeping its secrets across the centuries. Generations of stargazers looked at that dot and could tell you almost nothing about it, only that it was there, only that it circled, only that it was one of the larger points among Saturn's small attendants, and it stayed a dot for a remarkably long while. Even as telescopes grew and sharpened, even as people mapped the craters of the moon and the storms of Jupiter, Titan resisted. When astronomers finally turned their best instruments upon it and expected to see a surface, a face, some markings they could sketch, they found instead only a smooth, featureless disk, a small, blurred sphere, giving nothing away. And slowly they came to understand why. The moon was veiled. It was wrapped in that thick orange haze, that permanent smog, and the haze hid everything beneath it. Titan had drawn a curtain around itself, and no telescope, however fine, could see through it. For a long time this was maddening, and also wonderful, because a hidden world is a world full of possibility. People wondered what lay under that veil. Some imagined oceans, some imagined ice, some let themselves imagine stranger things. But no one could know, and Titan kept its face turned away, a soft blur at the edge of the solar system, patient and unhurried and utterly private. The only way to lift the veil was to go there, or at least to send something in our place, and going there is no small matter, because Titan is very far, and the road out to Saturn is long. So people built a spacecraft, a large and careful machine, and gave it years of its life just to make the crossing. It launched and swung past the inner worlds, borrowing a little speed from each, slingshotting around them to gather momentum, the way you might pump your legs on a swing to go a little higher each time. It fell in toward the sun and back out again, and past great Jupiter, using the giant planet's own gravity to fling itself further, and then across the long dark gulf beyond, a crossing that took years, whole years of silent coasting through the emptiness. The spacecraft small and cold and steady, carrying its instruments toward a moon it had never seen. Think of that patience. Think of the people who launched it, knowing they would be much older before it arrived, knowing they would have to wait and wait and wait, and simply trusting the long, slow arc of it. There is something restful in that kind of patience, something the sleepless part of you might learn from, the willingness to travel a long way in the dark toward a destination you cannot yet see. And when at last it arrived, this spacecraft did a remarkable thing. It carried with it a smaller passenger, a little probe, a compact machine built for one purpose, and it released that passenger toward Titan and let it fall. Down it went, down through the top of that enormous amber atmosphere, and a parachute opened above it, and the little probe drifted down slowly through the haze, sinking through layer after layer of orange cloud, sampling the air as it went, listening to the winds, looking down at what was gradually resolving beneath it. For hours it fell, drifting on its parachute through the thick sky, and as it fell the veil finally parted from the inside, and the hidden surface came up to meet it. Channels appeared, dark branching channels cut into pale highlands, exactly like the drainage patterns of rivers, exactly like the way water carves a landscape, except that here it was not water doing the carving. Broad dark plains appeared, and bright rounded hills and the winding tracks of ancient flows. And then the little probe touched down, softly, on that plain of rounded icy cobbles, in the dim orange light, and it kept working, and it sent back what it saw. And for the first time in all of history, a human-made thing was resting on the surface of Titan, looking around, quietly reporting home. The veil was lifted. The dot had become a world. Sit with that for a moment as you lie there. Sit with the sheer improbability and tenderness of it. A little machine, built by hands on your own world, crossing the enormous dark, falling for hours through an orange sky, and coming to rest on a frozen shore hundreds of millions of miles away, and doing it all so that people it would never meet could finally see. There is nothing frightening in that story. It is a story of curiosity, carried gently across an impossible distance and arriving safe. And the spacecraft that had carried the little probe went on circling Saturn for years afterward, looping around the rings and swinging close to Titan again and again, peering down at it with a special kind of vision that could pierce the haze from above, mapping the seas and the shorelines and the vast dune fields, building up, slowly, patiently, over many quiet years, the picture of Titan we now hold. So everything we are imagining tonight, every shore and sky and slow small wave, was gathered for us by patient machines and patient people across long years of waiting in the dark. And now it is here, and we can rest in it. Let us return now to our shore and to the sky above it, and let us watch the weather come in, because Titan has weather, real weather, clouds and rain and season, and this is one of the deepest kinships it shares with the world you are lying on tonight. Almost nowhere else in the solar system does it rain. On most worlds, there is nothing to rain. No substance that can drift up as vapor and gather into cloud and fall again as drops. But on Titan, there is a whole cycle, a slow, patient circulation, and it works in almost exactly the way the water cycle works here, except that its liquid is methane rather than water. Think of how rain happens on your own world. The sun warms a lake or a sea, and some of the water rises invisibly into the air as vapor. And that vapor climbs and cools and gathers into clouds, and the clouds thicken and darken until the drops grow heavy enough to fall, and down comes the rain, and it collects into streams and rivers and runs back down to the sea, and the whole thing begins again, turning and turning. A great slow wheel that has been turning for billions of years. On Titan, that very same wheel is turning, only it turns with methane. The faint sun warms the seas of methane near the poles, and a little of that methane rises as vapor into the amber sky, and it climbs and cools and gathers into clouds, real clouds drifting across the orange ceiling, and those clouds thicken until at last it rains. And oh, the rain on Titan. Imagine it. Because of that thick, heavy air and that light, gentle gravity, the raindrops there are not the small, quick drops you know. They are large, fat, slow drops, some of them broad as the tip of your finger, and they do not fall the way rain falls here. They drift down. They sink through the dense air slowly, so slowly, almost floating, taking their unhurried time, a soft descent of great, gentle drops sinking through the orange dusk toward the ground below. If you stood beneath that rain, if somehow you could stand there wrapped and warm, you would see the drops coming down all around you in a slow, deliberate shower, each one falling more like a snowflake settles than like rain drives, drifting and turning as it came, meeting the ground with the faintest patient touch. Rain that falls in slow motion. Rain you could almost watch each single drop of, drifting down out of a soft orange sky. There is our shore again, and our sky, everything familiar, everything made strange and slowed, and made, somehow, more restful for the slowing. And this rain does what rain does. It gathers. It runs. It finds the low places and pools there, and begins to flow, and it carves channels down the highlands and braids itself into rivers, and those rivers wind down across the landscape toward the seas, cutting the same branching patterns that rivers cut here, patterns so familiar that the maps of Titan's river valleys look like maps of Earth's, like the veins of a leaf, like the branching of any watershed you have ever seen from a plane window. The rain feeds the rivers, and the rivers feed the seas, and the seas feed the sky, and the sky rains again. A whole slow cycle turning out there in the cold, hundreds of millions of miles away, in the dim orange light. A wheel of weather, turning as patiently as the one that turns above your own roof tonight. And because everything moves so slowly there, the storms are rare and the rains are gentle and long, so that Titan can go a very long time dry, and then have a season of soft drifting rain that fills the channels and darkens the ground and swells the seas, and then go dry again. Breathing in and out across the years the way you are breathing in and out right now. There is something in that slow rhythm that the body wants to match. Feel your own breath for a moment, not changing it, just noticing it, the slow rise and the slow fall, the air coming in and going out, unforced, unhurried. That is a small cycle too, your own private weather, turning quietly all night, whether you attend to it or not, filling and emptying, as reliable as the methane rain drifting down on that far shore. You do not have to do anything to keep it going. It carries itself. Just as Titan's great wheel of rain and river and sea carries itself, needing no one to watch it, no one to tend it, turning alone in the dark and doing perfectly well. Let your breath be that easy. Let it turn on its own. And now, since we have spoken of that slow drifting rain and that light easy gravity, let us do something with it. Let us drift. Let us leave the shore for a while and let the whole scene carry us, the way a slow current carries a leaf that has fallen onto the surface of a stream and simply given itself up to the water. You do not have to do anything here. You do not have to imagine hard or picture clearly. Just let the words move under you like water and let yourself be carried. Imagine, then, that you are floating, not swimming, not treading, just floating, lying back on the surface of one of those broad, dark methane seas, held up by the liquid beneath you, weightless, or nearly so, because the gravity of Titan is so light that your body would feel like almost nothing at all, a seventh of its usual weight, a feather of a body resting on the face of a calm sea. And the liquid holds you. It is thinner than water, but it holds you, gently, all along the length of your back, cradling you, and there is no effort in it, no work, only the long, easy support of the sea beneath and the soft orange sky above. You are looking straight up into that amber ceiling, that endless twilight glow, and there is nothing sharp in it, nothing bright, only the warm, dim wash of it, filling your whole view, holding your gaze the way a low lamp holds it in a room at the end of a long day. And you are drifting. The faint, slow current of the sea is moving you, carrying you along without any hurry, turning you a little as it goes, so that the shore slides past far away, the pale hills and the dark dune fields sliding slowly by at the edge of your sight, and you do not steer, and you do not resist. You simply go where the water takes you. There is a small sound, the low fold of the liquid against your ears, a soft rhythmic lapping, over and over. The sound of the sea moving around you, patient and even, and it is the only sound in all that enormous quiet. Above you, now and then, one of those great slow raindrops drifts down out of the orange sky, taking its unhurried time, and touches the surface of the sea far off, sending out a single slow ring of ripples that spreads and widens and reaches you at last as the faintest lift beneath your back, raising you a hair's breadth and setting you down again, rocking you, the way a cradle rocks, the way a hammock sways, the way you were rocked long ago before you had any words for it. Let yourself be carried. There is nowhere you need to arrive. The sea is not taking you anywhere in particular, and that is exactly the gift of it, that you can drift and never have to come to shore, never have to stand up, never have to hold your own weight again tonight. The current knows where it is going, even if you do not, and it is in no rush to get there, and it will carry you as long as you like, out across the dark still face of that far sea, under the soft orange sky, rocked by the slow rings of the drifting rain. Everything is holding you. The liquid is holding you. The light gravity is holding you. The dim warm sky is holding you. You have nothing to grip and nothing to carry and nowhere to be, and the whole strange gentle world of Titan is arranged, just now, only to hold you up and let you drift. And if the shore comes near again, let it, and if it slides away again, let that too. You are the leaf on the current. You are the drop settling onto the sea. You are held and moving and asked for nothing, and you can stay here as long as you like, floating on a sea that is not water, under a sky that is not blue, on a shore of a world that is not yours, and finding, in all that strangeness, only rest, only the long, slow rocking, only the sense of being carried somewhere kind. Drift a while longer. There is no end to the sea, and no hurry, and no need to come back until you are ready. And when you are ready, not before, the current turns you slowly landward again, and the shore of that far world comes back into your dim awareness, a low dark line under the amber haze, a coast made of ridges and channels that a rain not of water carved over ages you cannot feel. This is the strangeness that keeps returning to soothe you, that everything here rhymes with home and yet is made of something else entirely. There is a shoreline, but the waves that shaped it were slow, oily swells of liquid methane, rising and falling under a gravity so light that each swell could stand taller and fall slower than any wave that ever broke on a beach you have walked. There is a beach, but the sand of it is not ground quartz. It is dark grains of frozen hydrocarbon, soft soot-black dunes that drink the orange light instead of throwing it back, so that the coast does not glitter. It simply lies there, dark and patient, absorbing the long dim day. You stand on a familiar shore under an unfamiliar sky, and the familiarity is enough to let you rest, and the strangeness is enough to let you forget the shore you came from, and between the two you float, easy and unclaimed. The rain here does not fall the way rain falls at home. Think of a single drop forming high in that thick tangerine air, up where the haze layers stack one on another like curtains hung in a warm, dim room. The drop is not water, it is methane, cold beyond any cold your skin has known, and yet in the falling it behaves like something you recognize, gathering, swelling, growing heavy, letting go. But it falls so slowly, in gravity 1/7 of your own, through air 4 times thicker than the air you breathe. The drop drifts down rather than plummeting, a fat, lazy bead the size of the tip of your finger, taking its long, unhurried time, wobbling as it comes, so slow that if you stood beneath it, you could watch it approach the way you watch a snowflake choose its path, the way you watch dust turn in a shaft of afternoon light. Rain that falls at the pace of a held breath, rain you could walk between. And it is warm to imagine, even though it is desperately cold to touch, because the mind takes the slowness and reads it as tenderness, reads the drifting as care, and lets the whole slow weather of this world settle over you like a blanket lowered by patient hands. Let the rivers come to you now, the slow ones, the ones that have been running here for longer than there have been eyes to see them. On Titan, there are riverbeds, real ones, branching networks carved into the ice bedrock exactly the way rivers on Earth branch across a plain, the same dendritic pattern, the same tributaries gathering into channels and channels gathering into wider channels. The same logic a raindrop follows anywhere in the universe when it is asked to find the sea. And knowing this is a small, quiet comfort you can hold in the dark. That the shape of a river is not an earth thing, it is a falling thing, a gravity thing, a patience thing. And any world that lets a liquid fall and gather and run will draw the same branching lines across its face. So the rivers of Titan look like the rivers of your own world seen from very high up, the ones you have watched from an airplane window as you drifted toward sleep with your forehead against the cold glass. And the resemblance is real. It is not a trick of the mind. It is the same river written in a different ink. Here the ink is methane and ethane, clear and cold, running dark over pale ice, and it runs so slowly, and it has been running so long, that you can lay your tired attention down along the length of one of these rivers and follow it all the way to the sea without ever once being hurried. And the rivers run to lakes, and the lakes are real seas, wide and dark and calm, gathered near the north of that world, where the long cold season lets the liquid pool and rest. There is one so large we gave it the name of a sea, a body of methane and ethane broad enough that standing on its shore, you would not see the far side, only a dark plain of liquid stretching to a hazy amber horizon, still as poured glass, barely stirred. Because the winds that cross it are slow, and the swells they raise are lazy and low. Imagine standing at the edge of such a sea in the long dim afternoon that lasts for days. The surface does not sparkle. It lies dark and matte and enormous, a mirror that has forgotten how to shine, holding the orange sky in a muted smear across its face. Nothing hurries, nothing crashes. The liquid laps the dark shore with a sound so low you feel it more than hear it. A slow lapping at the pace of your own slowing breath, in and out, in and out. The sea and your chest keeping the same unhurried time. You could stand here for the length of an earthly night, and the light would not change. The sea would not change, and you would feel yourself grow still to match it. It is worth drifting, for a little while, through the story of how any of this came to be known, because there is a peace in that story too, a peace in how slowly and how patiently the knowing arrived. For most of human history, Titan was only a faint point of light, a small companion beside Saturn, seen first through a simple lens more than 3.5 centuries ago by a patient man in a cold room in the Netherlands, Christian Huygens, who ground his own glass and turned it toward Saturn and noticed one more little light that moved with the planet, night after night, faithful, returning. He did not know it was a world. He could not have known. To him it was a dot, a companion, a hushed fact he wrote down and set beside the others. And for 300 years after him, it stayed a dot, a smudge of orange no telescope on Earth could resolve, wrapped so completely in its own haze that every eye that turned toward it saw only the outside of the veil, only the soft tangerine blur, never the shore beneath. Titan kept its rivers and its seas hidden for 3 centuries, not out of any wish to hide, simply because it was far and small and wrapped in cloud, and the world that wondered about it had not yet learned to reach. And then, slowly, patiently, we reached. First with 2 travelers sent past in the outer dark, machines the size of small cars that flew by Saturn and turned their cameras toward the orange moon and saw, again, only the haze, only the smooth, unbroken amber shell, and sent home the strange news that here was a world entirely veiled, a world that would not show its face. And that refusal only deepened the wanting. So we built something larger and sent it on a 7-year fall across the solar system. A spacecraft named for the astronomer who first mapped Saturn's rings, carrying with it a small brave lander named for Huygens himself, for the man who first saw the dot. And after 7 years of silent falling, the 2 arrived, and the lander detached, and it drifted down through the haze on a parachute, down through the layered orange curtains, slowly for 2.5 hours, sampling the air, listening to the wind, falling the way the methane rain falls, unhurried, patient, until at last it came through the bottom of the cloud and saw, for the first time in the history of anything, the surface of Titan laid out below it. Dark channels, pale hills, drainage patterns branching exactly like rivers, a shoreline, a floodplain, a familiar shore under an unfamiliar sky. And it landed hushed on a bed of rounded pebbles, stones smoothed by a liquid that had tumbled them the way streams tumble stones at home, and it sent back the picture, and there it was. The veil had been lifted, gently, after 300 years, and beneath it was a place that looked, impossibly, like home. Rest for a moment in what that little lander felt, or would have felt if it could feel, in the 2.5 hours of its falling. There is no gentler arrival anywhere in the story of our reaching outward. It did not slam down. It did not burn and streak. It opened its parachute high in the amber air and simply sank, swaying, turning slowly, the thick atmosphere holding it up and letting it down by degrees, the way a leaf is let down, the way a feather is let down, the way you yourself are being let down now into the deep part of the night. 2.5 hours of drifting through orange light, 2.5 hours of the haze thinning and thinning until the ground swam up soft and dark below. And all the while, no hurry. The atmosphere of Titan is so thick and the gravity so light that anything falling through it falls kindly, is caught and cushioned and slowed, so that even a machine dropped from space arrives like a thought settling, like a hand laid down, like the last of the day laid to rest. If you had been the one falling, you would have had time to look, time to let go, time to watch a whole new world assemble itself out of the haze without once feeling the pull to rush toward it. That is the pace of Titan. Everything arrives slowly here. Even landing is a kind of drifting off. Now let yourself feel the air itself, the thing that makes all this slowness possible, because the air of Titan is the strangest comfort of all. It is thicker than the air of Earth, half again as much pressure pressing softly all around, so that to stand on Titan would be to stand at the bottom of a warm, deep ocean of gas, wrapped and cushioned on every side, held by the sheer density of the atmosphere, the way water holds a swimmer. And it is mostly nitrogen, the same gas that makes up the greater part of every breath you have ever taken. The quiet, unnoticed gas that fills your lungs right now, in and out, without your ever having to think of it. So the air of Titan is, in its bones, the same patient nitrogen you are breathing tonight, only thicker, only colder, only tinted with that faint orange haze. You could not breathe it, not the way it is, too cold and lacking the oxygen your body wants. But there is a strange kinship in it all the same, a sense that the sky of that far moon is built from the same serene material as the breath moving softly through you now, and that kinship is enough to make the whole world feel less foreign. More like a distant room in a very large house where the same air somehow has drifted down the hall. And because the air is so thick and the gravity so slight, something becomes possible on Titan that is possible almost nowhere else, something that belongs half to physics and half to a dream. On Titan, you could fly. Not in a machine, not with any engine, but with your own body. Strap a pair of wings to your arms, broad, serene wings, and in that dense, low-gravity air, you could push down against the atmosphere and lift, actually lift, rise from the dark shore, and beat slowly upward into the amber sky, flying the way you have flown only in the oldest and best of your sleeping dreams. The thick air would hold your wings the way water holds an oar. The light gravity would let you climb with each slow stroke, and you would rise above the methane sea, above the branching rivers, above the soot-dark dunes, banking through the orange haze on wings that barely have to work, gliding for long stretches without a single beat, carried, lifted, unhurried, held aloft by a sky thick enough to swim through. Feel that now, at the edge of sleep, that oldest wish made real by the plain arithmetic of a distant world, to spread your arms and lift and fly, slowly, over a strange tranquil sea, under a warm dim sky, with nothing below you but patience, and nothing above you but haze. Fly a while, in the loose way of a body letting go, and let the flying become drifting, and let the drifting become floating, and let the floating become stillness, until you are simply hovering in the warm orange air like a mote suspended in the last light of a long afternoon. Below you the sea has gone entirely calm. The rivers have slowed to a dark shine. The rain has paused somewhere up in the high haze, holding its slow drops in suspension, in no hurry to fall. And the whole world seems to have taken a single long breath and held it, softly, the way you are beginning to hold yours now. Deeper, slower, easier with every turn. There is nothing here that wants anything from you. The sea does not need you to swim it. The sky does not need you to cross it. The rivers will run to their patient lakes whether or not you watch, and the rain will drift down through the amber air whether or not you are there to walk between the drops. And knowing that, you can set the last of your watching down and simply be one more slow thing held aloft in a world built entirely for slowness. Let the weather of this world turn over you now, slow season by slow season, because time on Titan moves at a scale that is itself a kind of lullaby. A single year on Titan, one full circuit of Saturn around the distant sun, takes nearly 30 of our years. 30 of your years for one Titan year. So the seasons there do not hurry the way the seasons of home hurry, spring tumbling into summer into autumn in the span of a single restless orbit. On Titan, a season lasts more than 7 Earth years, 7 years of one long, slow slide of the light. 7 years for the northern lakes to fill, 7 years for the great weather systems to gather, 7 years for the tilt of that far world to lean its hemispheres by turns toward and away from the small bright sun. The clouds that cross Titan's sky are patient beyond patience. The storms, when they come rarely, and build slowly, and take Earth months to unfold, so that even the wildest weather of that world is a thing that would seem to you almost motionless, a slow churning in the amber high air that you could watch for a whole afternoon and never see hurry. Imagine belonging to time like that. Imagine a life where a single season is longer than the longest stretch of waiting you have ever endured, where nothing is due, where nothing is late, where the light takes 7 years simply to change its mind. There is deep rest in that scale. Let it slow you. Let your own sense of the clock come loose and drift until the minutes of this night feel as unhurried as a Titan season, as patient as a moon that takes 30 years to circle its sun. And when the rain does come, in its slow season, it comes as a soft methane drizzle out of the low haze, and it settles onto the dark seas and the pale hills and the branching channels, and it does what rain has always done anywhere. It gathers, and it runs, and it finds the low places, and it fills them, and it makes the rivers run a little fuller and the lakes lie a little wider, and then it lifts again, slowly, back into the amber air, to gather once more, in a cycle so like the water cycle of your own world that scientists borrowed the word and simply changed the liquid, calling it the methane cycle, a whole planet's slow breathing of rain up and rain down. Evaporation and cloud and drizzle and river and sea and evaporation again, turning and turning at the pace of those enormous seasons. A rain cycle you could set your slowing heart by, a weather that breathes, and you tonight breathing with it, up and down, gather and release, rain rising and rain falling, the oldest rhythm there is, playing out on a shore made of something else, under a sky the color of a banked fire, soothing you exactly because it is so strange and so familiar at once. Come down now, softly, from the high air, and stand once more on the dark shore, and let yourself notice the light. because the light on Titan is unlike any light you have stood in, and it is made for rest. The sun that reaches Titan is the same sun that warms your own days, but it arrives here across such an enormous distance, nearly 10 times farther than it falls on Earth, that it comes weakened and softened, a fraction of the brightness you know, so that even the clearest noon on Titan is dimmer than a heavy overcast afternoon at home, dimmer than the last hour before a storm, a low honeyed dusk light that never sharpens into glare. And then that already gentle light must pass down through the thick orange haze, layer after layer of tangerine cloud, which scatters it and softens it further and steeps it in amber, until what finally reaches the dark ground is a warm brown gold glow with no hard edges anywhere in it. A light that casts no sharp shadows, a light that seems to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. The whole sky glowing evenly like the inside of a paper lantern. To stand on Titan is to stand inside a permanent gentle dusk, a long amber gloaming that never brightens into day and never darkens into true night, a held twilight, the exact quality of light your eyes long for at the end of a wearing day. No glare, no shadow, no sharpness, only a warm dim even glow, wrapping the sea and the shore and the slow rain in one peaceful continuous tone, like a room lit by a single low lamp, like the light behind your own closed eyes. And in that held twilight the far seas lie utterly hushed, and it is worth staying with their stillness, because it may be the most restful thing this whole world has to offer. The seas of Titan are, by some measures, the smoothest surfaces ever found anywhere in the solar system. When our spacecraft looked down and bounced its signals off those methane lakes, the reflection came back so clean, so mirror flat, that the scientists could scarcely believe it. Waves, if there were any at all, were no more than a few millimeters high, ripples smaller than the ripples a single breath would raise on a cup of tea, whole seas the size of great lakes on Earth, lying so serene that their surface departs from perfect flatness by less than the width of your finger. Imagine a body of liquid that vast, that calm. Imagine standing at its edge and seeing not a single wave, not a single whitecap, not a single restless glimmer, only a dark, unbroken plain stretching to the hazy horizon, so smooth it holds the orange sky in one long, unbroken smear, so tranquil it looks less like a sea than like a held breath, less like water than like sleep itself given a surface and a shore. That is the sea you are drifting on tonight. The stillest sea there is. Let its stillness be yours. There are dunes here too, whole seas of them, and they are worth walking in your mind, slowly, the way you would walk a beach at the very end of a summer day when your legs are heavy and the light is going gold. Across the wide, warm midsection of Titan stretch vast fields of dunes, long parallel ridges of dark grains marching for hundreds and hundreds of miles, so like the sand seas of the great deserts of Earth, that when the first radar images came back the scientists knew at once what they were seeing. Dunes, unmistakably dunes, the same graceful sweeping crests, the same patient spacing, the same slow ridges shaped by a wind that blows them grain by grain across the ages. But the sand of these dunes is not sand at all. It is dark grains of hydrocarbon, hushed particles of the same tarry stuff that drifts down slowly out of the orange haze, sooty and fine and black, piled by the slow Titan wind into ridge after ridge of dark tender dune. So you could walk here as you have walked on a beach, up and over the long crests, down into the tranquil troughs, the dark grains shifting slow and cool beneath each step. And it would feel like the most familiar thing in the world, the give of dune sand underfoot, the slow rise and fall of the ridges, and yet every grain beneath you would be something no beach on Earth has ever held. A familiar shore, again made of something else. The same shape, the same softness, the same slow patience, written in a stranger material, and no less soothing for it, perhaps more. Feel how the strangeness keeps folding back into comfort. This is the deep gift of Titan, the thing that makes it the most Earth-like world we have found, and, in the very same breath, the most alien, that it takes everything you know and love about a gentle landscape, the rain, the rivers, the lakes, the seas, the beaches, the dunes, the clouds, the seasons, the low even light, and it builds every one of them, faithfully, tenderly, out of entirely different stuff, at entirely different temperatures, under an entirely different sky. It is your world seen through cold amber glass. It is the coastline of a dream where everything is recognizable and nothing is the same. And rather than unsettling you, that doubleness soothes you, because it means the universe knows how to make a shore, knows how to make a river find the sea, knows how to make rain fall and dunes rise, and light go soft at the end of a long day, and it makes these things over and over in every kind of material, on every kind of world, so that no matter how far you drift from home, from any home, you will keep finding shores, keep finding still seas, keep finding places built for rest. The pattern follows you outward. The gentleness is everywhere. Even here, a billion miles away, on a moon of a ringed planet in the cold outer dark, there is a shore, and there is a peaceful sea, and there is a soft light, and there is room for you to lie down. Let yourself drift wider now, and feel where this shore actually sits, because there is a strange comfort in the sheer size of the distance, in how small and safe your own concerns become when set against it. Titan circles Saturn, and Saturn circles the Sun out in the cold far reaches of our solar system, so distant that the light which left the Sun takes well over an hour to arrive. So distant that from Titan's dim surface, the Sun is only the brightest star in a hazy sky, so distant that a spacecraft built to reach it must fall through space for 7 patient years. You are, in your imagining, farther from home tonight than almost anyone has ever conceived of being. Out past the asteroids, out past the great striped face of Jupiter, out to the ringed world and its orange moon, and yet none of that distance frightens you, because distance, real distance, the true scale of the heavens, does not threaten, it releases. Everything that presses on you in your small warm room, every task, every worry, every unfinished thing, every word you wish you had said differently, all of it belongs to a world that is from here. Only a pale blue speck lost somewhere back toward the Sun. One faint point of light among all the others, too far to see, too small to matter to the slow methane rain and the tender dark seas and the amber haze. Out here, at Titan's shore, none of it can reach you. The distance has swallowed it. Kindly, you are too far away tonight to be asked for anything. And feel, too, the deeper scale beneath the distance, the scale of time, which is the most restful scale of all. Titan is old. The seas were pooling, and the rivers were carving, and the slow rain was falling on that dark shore for billions of years before you were born, and they will go on pooling and carving and falling for billions of years after you are gone, entirely untroubled, entirely at peace, keeping their slow, patient rhythm through ages so vast that a single human life is less than a single drop of that slow methane rain. And rather than making you feel small in a way that aches, let it make you feel small in a way that frees. Because if the seas of Titan have kept their stillness for billions of years without your help, then surely you may set down your own small vigil for one night. If the rain has fallen faithfully out of that amber haze for an age longer than you can hold in your mind, then surely the world can keep itself for the few dark hours of your sleep. Nothing depends on your staying awake. Nothing needs your watching. The vast old patient universe has been holding itself together, tenderly, for longer than there have been minds to worry about it. And it will hold you too, tonight, the way it holds the slow seas and the slow rivers, and the drifting rain, asking nothing, taking nothing, only keeping you, softly, while you rest. Return now to the shore, to the small scale, to the near and the touchable. Because after the vastness, it is a relief to come back to a single peaceful place and simply be in it. You are sitting at the edge of the low methane sea, on the dark faint grains of the beach, in the warm amber dusk that never ends, and the low swells are lapping the shore so slowly that you could count a long breath between one and the next. In, out, a swell rises, hangs, falls. In, out, the sea keeps a rhythm you can borrow. The temperature here is far below any cold you have known, hundreds of degrees below freezing, and yet in the imagining it does not bite, it does not sting. Because your body is wrapped and warm and elsewhere, tucked under its blanket in its own dim room, and only your quiet attention has come out to this shore, and attention feels no cold. So you can sit here at the edge of the impossible sea in perfect comfort, warm where you truly are, still where you are imagining, watching the slow liquid lap the dark sand under the low orange light, and let the two places hold you at once, the near and the far, the warm bed and the cold shore, both of them keeping you, both of them asking nothing. Watch the rain begin again out over the sea, far off, a easy gray veil of drifting methane coming down through the amber air so slowly that it seems to hang rather than fall, a curtain of slow drops lowered gently over the far water. It does not rush toward the shore. There is no wind to drive it. It simply drifts, out there over the faint sea, a serene slow rain falling into a soft, easy surface, each drop taking its long, unhurried time to come down and touch and merge and be lost in the calm, dark plain of the sea. And the sound of it, if a sound so faint can be called a sound, is the lowest, gentlest patter imaginable, a hush of slow drops meeting, still liquid far away across the water. A sound at the very edge of hearing, more felt than heard. A hushed, continuous hush that asks nothing of you and gives everything. The sound of rain on a sea at the end of the world. The sound of a weather that has been falling since long before you and will be falling long after. The sound your own breathing is beginning now to match. Rain on the far sea. Slow drops on hushed liquid. A hush under an amber sky. Let it be the last sound in the room. Let it fall you towards sleep. There is a hidden thing about Titan that deepens the calm rather than disturbing it. A secret the world keeps beneath its dark shore, and it is worth turning towards slowly, the way you would turn toward a serene thought at the edge of sleep. Beneath the ice crust of Titan, far below the methane seas and the sandy dunes and the branching rivers, deep down under miles of solid frozen ground, there lies another sea, a hidden one, an ocean of liquid water, salty and dark and warm compared to the frozen surface, wrapped all the way around the world like an unseen tide. Titan carries two seas then, one you could stand beside on its cold amber shore, and one you would never see at all. A buried global ocean cradled between the ice above and the rock below, held in the dark, kept warm by the slow flexing of the moon as it circles Saturn. And there is a strange tenderness in that image, a world with a hidden ocean at its heart, a deep, serene, warm sea folded away beneath the cold, patient and unseen and enormous, holding itself in the dark for age after age. You carry something like that too. A warmth folded deep beneath the cold surface of a wearing day, a quiet still center that the world never sees and that goes on keeping itself regardless. And tonight, as you sink toward sleep, you are settling down into that hidden warm sea of your own, down beneath the busy frozen crust of the day, into the deep still water at the center where it is dark and warm and safe. And nothing about that hidden ocean asks anything of you either. It simply is, turning slowly in the deep dark warm beneath the ice, a whole sea keeping itself without a single witness, without a single hand to tend it, for longer than there have been eyes anywhere to imagine it. So much of the universe is like this, you begin to see. So much of it is warmth kept quietly in the dark, seas holding themselves, worlds turning themselves, rain falling faithfully with no one to watch it fall, and all of it perfectly content to go on unseen, unhelped, unhurried. There is such permission in that. You do not have to witness the world for it to keep. You do not have to hold the sea for it to stay warm. You can close your eyes and let the hidden ocean of Titan go on turning in the dark exactly as it has always turned, and let the tranquil methane sea go on lying flat under the amber haze exactly as it has always lain, and let the slow rain go on drifting down over the far water exactly as it always has, all of it continuing without you, all of it keeping without your care, freeing you entirely to rest. Let the sky change now, slowly, as the long, slow day of Titan finally begins to lean toward its long, slow evening, and watch what happens to the light. Because even the coming of night here is unhurried and kind. On a world where a single day and night together last 16 Earth days, the fading of the light is not a sudden thing, not the quick drop of a summer dusk, but a long, slow deepening that takes hours upon hours. The amber of the sky darkening by imperceptible degrees, tangerine sliding toward burnt orange, sliding toward a deep, dim bronze. The whole vast paper lantern sky lowering its glow so gradually that you could watch it for the length of a full night's sleep and never catch the moment it changed. The peaceful sea darkens with it, from dark orange to darker bronze to a deep, quiet brown, the mirror losing its color drop by drop, and the dark shore darkens, and the tranquil dunes darken, and the slow rain, still drifting far out over the water, becomes a paler and paler gray against the deepening sky, until at last the whole world settles into a dim, warm dusk, so deep it is almost, but never quite, darkness. There is no black night on Titan the way there is on worlds without such haze. The thick orange air holds a little of the light and gives it back, so that even the deepest Titan night is a peaceful brown gloom, a warm low dark, the exact darkness of a room where a single ember still glows in the grate. And you sink into that warm low dark the way you are sinking into sleep, slowly, by degrees, never falling, only settling, only easing down through one tender shade of dusk after another, with all the time in the world. And as the sky deepens, imagine that the haze thins just once, just for you, just enough, and through a break in the high orange curtains, you catch a glimpse of what hangs above this world, and it takes what little breath you have left. There, filling a great arc of the darkening sky, hangs Saturn, enormous and pale and gold, its vast rings tilted and shining, close enough to fill the heavens the way the moon fills the sky at home, but many times larger, a great banded golden world with a halo of ice, hanging silent and huge over the dark methane sea. It does not move. It does not fall. It simply hangs there, immense and calm and unbelievably beautiful, casting its faint gold light down through the parting haze onto the still dark water, so that for a moment the sea holds two lights at once, the last dim amber of the vanished sun and the soft gold glow of the ringed planet, both of them lying quiet on the flat, calm face of the sea. And then the haze drifts closed again, softly, drawing its warm orange curtain back across the sky, tucking Saturn away, and you are left again in the deep warm dusk, on the dark shore, beside the tender sea, having seen the most beautiful thing in the sky of any world, and needing, now, nothing more. Let yourself be carried once more, differently now, not on the sea, but along a river, one of the slow, dark methane rivers running down from the pale hills toward the great still lake, and let the current take you the way a leaf is taken, face up, weightless, drifting. The river is not deep, and it is not fast. In this light gravity, even a running river runs lazily, its slow, dark liquid sliding over the pale ice bed with barely a murmur, curving gently around the low banks, gathering itself in quiet pools and then sliding on, in no hurry, always finding the low way, always drifting toward the sea, and you drift with it, laid out on the slow cold current, held up by the dense liquid the way you were held up by the sea, turned this way and that by the gentle bends, carried past dark shores and pale hills and the long soft ridges of the dunes, under the deep bronze sky, through the warm low dusk, with nothing to do but be carried, nothing to steer, nothing to reach for. Only the slow, certain pull of the river doing all the work of moving you while you lie slow and let it. The river knows the way. The river has known the way for 1 billion years. It has carried the slow rain down to the sea 1 billion times, and it will carry you now, softly, past every quiet landmark of this strange world, all the way down to the wide low water where all the rivers rest, and feel how the being carried undoes the last of your holding. All day you have carried yourself, held yourself up, moved yourself from place to place by your own effort, and now, on the slow river of a distant moon, you are relieved of all of it, carried without effort, moved without willing it, taken gently toward rest by a current older than the sun that dimly lights it. There is nothing left for you to do. The river does the moving, the gravity does the holding, the thick air does the cushioning, the slow dusk does the darkening. The whole patient machinery of this quiet world has arranged itself tonight to carry you, and all you must do, all you have ever had to do, is stop resisting the current and let it take you, down and down and down, toward the faint sea, toward the deep warm dark, toward the place where the river ends and the sleeping begins. Let go of the bank. Let go of the wanting to steer. Let the river have you. You are being carried somewhere kind, and you do not need to know where, and you do not need to arrive. You need only to drift. And drift and be taken, softly down. There is a chemistry to this world that is quietly astonishing, and it is worth resting in. Because it turns even the strange dark terry stuff of Titan into something like a slow miracle. High in the orange haze, sunlight touches the methane and the nitrogen of the air and begins, slowly, patiently, to knit them into more complicated things, into the heavier hydrocarbons that give the sky its color and drift down as the dark soot that builds the dunes. And among the things that form up there, in that slow high chemistry, are molecules that on Earth we associate with the very beginnings of life, the carbon-rich building blocks, the patient first rungs of the long ladder that leads, on at least one world, to living things. No one is saying there is life on Titan. It is far too cold, and the chemistry there runs at a crawl in the deep freeze. But the ingredients drift down through that amber sky all the same kinds of molecules that once gathered in the warm shallows of a young Earth, raining slowly out of the haze onto the dark shore, gathering in the still pools, waiting in no hurry, with all the time a 30-year season and a billion-year age can give. And there is a deep, quiet wonder in that. In a world so cold and so strange, nonetheless dusted, gently, with the same slow chemistry from which we ourselves once slowly came, as if the universe keeps the recipe close at hand wherever it goes, keeps sprinkling the beginnings of things across every likely shore, patient, unhurried, willing to wait a billion years to see what settles out. You are made of that same chemistry, of course, of carbon and nitrogen, and the slow patient knitting of small things into larger things, and so to look at Titan's raining haze is, in a strange low way, to look at your own distant beginnings drifting down through an alien sky. The same atoms, the same slow gathering, the same rain of the ingredients of life onto a waiting shore. You and Titan are cousins in the deepest possible sense, built from the same handful of elements the whole universe is built from, kin across a billion miles of cold, dark space. And that kinship is a comfort you can wrap yourself in as you drift towards sleep. The knowledge that you are not a stranger out here, not truly. That the far amber moon and the warm body under your blanket are made of the same slow patient stuff. That wherever you go in this vast old universe, you will find only relatives, only the same few elements arranged a little differently. Only more family. There are no true strangers among the worlds, only the same atoms, keeping house in different rooms. And tonight you are visiting one of those rooms, a far cold amber room with a still sea and a slow rain, and it is, in the end, a kind of home, because everything is, because it is all made of the same soft stuff, and none of it is strange enough to keep you from resting. Let the sound of this world settle over you now, all of its quiet voices at once, layered faint like the layers of its haze. There is the low lapping of the easy sea against the dark shore, so slow you could count long breaths between. There is the faint hush of the far rain coming down over the water, more a texture than a sound. There is the soft slide of the slow river running down to the lake, a murmur at the edge of hearing. There is the low, patient sigh of the thick wind moving grain by grain across the dark dunes, a sound so faint and so continuous it becomes a kind of silence. And beneath all of it, or above all of it, or all around it, there is the great enveloping tender of a world where almost nothing hurries, where the loudest thing for 100 miles might be a single slow drop of methane rain touching the flat, calm face of the sea. Titan is one of the most peaceful soundscapes the imagination can reach, a whole world tuned low, a whole world hushed, every sound in it slow and soft and far. And you can lie here at the center of all that quiet and let it fill your ears the way warm water fills a bath, closing gently over you, sealing out the sharper sounds of the day you have left behind, leaving only the low, slow, patient voices of a distant amber shore. And notice that not one of those sounds is asking for your attention. The lapping does not want you to listen. The rain does not need you to hear it. The wind across the dunes has been sighing its slow sigh for 1 billion years to no audience at all, and will sigh it for 1 billion more whether or not a single mind attends. So you do not have to listen. Not really. Not with any effort. You can let the sounds come and go as they please. Let them rise into your awareness and slip out of it again like the slow swells of the sea, present when you notice them, gone when you do not. Never demanding, never insisting, only there, softly, a low, slow weather of sound to drift upon. Let your listening go loose. Let it stop reaching for the sounds, and let the sounds come to it instead, or not, as they will. This is how a mind lets go, not by silencing the world, but by ceasing to hold it, by letting the lapping and the hush and the murmur and the sigh wash in and out unattended, a tide of low sound rising and falling at the edge of a sleep that is very near now, very near, and coming on softly, like the slow rain, like the slow river, like the slow deepening of the amber dusk toward the warm low dark. Let your body soften now, part by part, the way the light softens as it falls through the amber haze, and let the low gravity of this world do the imagining for you. On Titan, you would weigh only 1/7 of what you weigh at home. A body that strains under its own weight all day long would here become almost nothing, a lightness, a near floating thing, every limb suddenly relieved of 6/7 of its burden. So imagine that lightness settling into you now, beginning at the crown of your head and moving slowly down, each part of you growing lighter as it lets go. The small muscles of your face unclenching, the weight lifting from your brow and your jaw, your shoulders sinking down and back as the day's holding drains out of them, your arms going heavy, and then, strangely, light, resting on the bed, with nothing left to carry. Feel it move down through you the way the slow rain moves down through the haze, unhurried, thorough, gentle, the chest easing, the breath deepening on its own, the belly softening, the long muscles of the back releasing their grip one by one, the hips settling, the legs growing first heavy, and then that lovely near weightless light of a body that has finally, completely let go. On Titan, you would drift up from the ground with the smallest push. Here in your bed, you drift down instead, but it is the same release, the same unburdening, the same sweet loss of weight, your whole body carried now by the mattress, the way you were carried by the sea, held from below, asked for nothing, free at last of the long day's weight. And with the body easy and the weight set down, let the breath find the rhythm of the slow swells, the rhythm of the still sea lapping the dark shore. Breathe in slowly, the way a swell rises, gathering, filling, unhurried. Hold it a moment at the top the way the swell hangs before it falls. And let it go slowly, the way the swell subsides, sinking back, smoothing out, returning to the calm. In like the rising water, out like the falling. In and hold and out and rest. There is no effort in it. The sea does not strain to make its swells, and you need not strain to make your breath. It rises and falls on its own now, slow and low and even, keeping time with a sea you have never touched on a shore you will never stand on. And yet the rhythm is real. The rhythm is yours. The rhythm is carrying you down. Each slow breath a swell. Each pause a moment of stillness. Each exhale a little further into the warm dark, a little further from the day, a little closer to the deep faint sleep that is nearly here now, rising up to meet you as softly as the tide. Drift back once more to the great still lake at the north of the world, the largest of the seas, the one broad enough to swallow the horizon, and let yourself rest at its very edge in the deep bronze dusk. The rain has stopped now, far out over the water. The last slow drops have long since drifted down and merged and vanished into the flat, calm surface, and the sea lies utterly at peace, unbroken, unmoving, a dark mirror stretched from your feet to the hazy edge of the world. And in that perfect stillness, the sea has become a second sky, holding the dim bronze glow of the fading day so faithfully that you can no longer quite tell where the shore ends and the reflection begins, where the water stops and the heavens start, the two of them merging in the low light into a single hushed continuous dimness. Above and below, sky and sea, all one warm, quiet gloom. To sit at the edge of that is to sit at the edge of everything and nothing at once, a hushed figure on a dark shore between two skies, held in the exact center of a great serene quiet, with the whole enormous patient world holding its breath around you. Nothing moves, nothing calls, nothing is due. You could stay here forever, and the sea would not mind, and the sky would not change, and no one anywhere would ask you to rise. This is the deepest gift Titan has to give, the one it has been offering, quietly, all along beneath the rain and the rivers and the strange chemistry and the golden hanging planet. Permission to be perfectly serene. The whole world models it for you. The tranquil sea is peaceful. The dark dunes are tender. The deep buried ocean turns so slowly it is nearly still. The seasons are so long they are nearly slow. The very light, that soft even amber glow, is a kind of stillness, holding one warm dim tone hour after hour, without flickering or fading. Everything here has settled into a profound and ancient calm, has set down whatever it once carried, has come to rest, and simply is, without effort, without hurry, without any need to be otherwise. And you, tonight, are invited to join it, to become one more low thing on a world of faint things, to let your restless day finally settle the way the rain settles onto the calm sea, the way the light settles over the dark dunes, the way the whole vast patient moon has settled into its long amber peace. Be still now. Be as still as the sea. There is nothing left tonight that needs your motion. Let the stillness of Titan become the stillness in you. Let a tranquil snow fall now, because Titan has that too. In its way, a slow drifting fall of something like snow, though it is not snow as you know it. High in the cold amber air, the heavier hydrocarbons freeze into fine, peaceful particles, and they drift down endlessly, slowly, a perpetual gentle fall of dark organic snow, settling grain by grain onto the dunes and the hills and the shores, building the world's soft dark carpet, one slow flake at a time over ages beyond counting. Imagine it now, that slow, dark snow, drifting down through the deep bronze dusk, each particle taking its long patient time to come down through the thick air, turning as it falls, in no more hurry than a single mote of dust in a still room, settling at last so lightly onto the dark ground that it makes no sound at all. A snow that has been falling for 1 billion years. A snow that will fall for 1 billion more. A snow so slow and so tender that watching it is like watching time itself come gently to rest, and you, lying warm and still beneath your blanket, can let that slow dark snow fall through your closing mind, each drifting particle a thought settling and going easy, each slow flake a worry coming softly to rest on the dark patient ground and staying there, easy, covered, at peace, until your whole busy mind is blanketed under a slow deep fall of quiet, every sharp thing softened, every loud thing hushed, every fast thing slowed to the drifting pace of Titan's endless gentle snow. And the snow keeps falling, and the sea stays hushed, and the sky holds its warm dim glow, and the river runs its slow certain way to the lake, and the buried ocean turns in the deep warm dark, and the great golden planet hangs unseen above the closed amber curtain of the haze, and all of it. all of it, keeps its slow, patient peace without the smallest need of you. You have wandered this whole strange world tonight, the shores and the seas and the rivers and the dunes, the rain and the snow and the hidden ocean and the ringed planet in the sky. And everywhere you have gone, you have found the same thing, the same deep hushed, the same slow patience, the same low permission to set your burdens down and rest. A familiar shore under an unfamiliar sky, rain and rivers and lakes, all made of something else and strangely, wonderfully soothing for it. The most Earth-like world we know, and the most alien, holding both at once, and holding you, softly, at the still center of the two. There is nowhere left to go tonight. You have arrived at the farthest, gentlest shore there is, and it asks nothing of you. And you may rest here now, as long as you like, as deeply as you like, for the sea is still, and the snow is falling, and the whole quiet world is keeping watch so that you do not have to. Think, for a slow moment, of how gently this world was named and known, of the long patient chain of quiet people who each added one small piece to the picture you are resting inside tonight. The patient man in the cold room who first saw the moving dot. The astronomers of the centuries after who watched the orange blur and wondered and could not see through it and wrote down their wondering and passed it on. The engineers who dreamed a machine that could fall for 7 years across the dark and arrive serene working. The team who guided the little lander down through the haze and held their breath through the 2.5 hours of its drifting and wept, some of them, when the first picture of the dark shore came home. None of them hurried. The knowing of Titan took 3.5 centuries and thousands of patient hands, each one adding a little, each one content to see only a little, each one passing the wondering forward to the next, and out of all that slow patient work came the picture you are lying inside now, the still seas and the slow rain and the branching rivers and the faint amber light, a whole world assembled gently over lifetimes, so that you, tonight, could close your eyes and go there and rest. There is a tenderness in that, in how much slow patient care went into the knowing of one far quiet moon, and you can rest in that care too, held not only by the world itself, but by the long gentle human wanting that reached out across 3 centuries just to see it. And you need add nothing to that long work tonight. You need not wonder, need not reach, need not understand a single thing about the methane or the haze or the hidden ocean or the slow chemistry drifting down through the amber sky. All the reaching has been done for you by others long ago and patiently, and all that is left for you is the easiest thing of all, the resting, the receiving, the lying tranquil on the far gentle shore that so many patient hands worked so long to reveal. Let them have done the work. Let the wondering be finished. Let the knowing be complete and set aside, the way you set aside a book you have loved when your eyes grow too heavy to read on, laying it softly closed on the table beside you, keeping your place without effort, knowing it will peaceful be there, unchanged, whenever you return. The whole of Titan is that book tonight, read to its gentle end, laid softly closed, waiting patiently on the table beside your bed while you drift down into sleep, asking nothing, keeping your place, holding the far amber shore in trust for you until morning. Let yourself float free of the shore one last time, out onto the dark, tender sea, on your back, weightless, held by the dense liquid the way you have been held all night, and let the last of your attention come loose and drift. There is no shore in sight now, no far side, no edge, only the flat, calm, dark water, stretching out under the deep, warm dusk, in every direction. Only you. A single small, slow figure, held on the surface of an impossible sea, rocked so faintly by swells so low that the motion is barely a motion at all, more a suggestion of rocking, a memory of rocking, the sea breathing beneath you so slowly that you cannot tell its breath from your own. The amber sky glows low and even overhead, its light so soft it casts no shadow, so warm it feels almost like a hand laid across your closed eyes. And you drift. You drift the way the rain drifts down through the haze, the way the slow snow drifts onto the dunes, the way the river drifts down to the lake, the way the whole patient world drifts through its long, slow seasons, unhurried, unforced, going nowhere in particular and in no rush to arrive. There is nowhere to arrive. There is only the drifting, and the warm dim light, and the low dark sea holding you up, and the last easy thoughts settling like slow flakes onto the serene ground of your mind, each one going faint as it lands, each one going dark, until there is almost nothing left but the drifting itself, and the warmth, and the low even glow, and the sea. And the sleep rising up now to meet you as gently as the tide. Everything is holding you. Say it slowly to yourself, in time with the low swells, and feel that it is true. The dense liquid is holding you up. The light gravity is holding you hushed. The thick warm air is holding you close on every side. The deep bronze dusk is holding its glow steady over you, so that nothing sharpens and nothing fades. The easy sea is holding its calm. The slow snow is holding its patient fall. The hidden ocean is holding its warmth in the dark far below. The great golden planet is holding its silent watch above the haze. The whole vast patient universe is holding itself together, tenderly, exactly as it has for billions of years, asking nothing of you, needing nothing from you, wanting only, it seems, to hold you up on this far gentle shore and let you rest. You are held. You are held from below and from above and from every side. You are held by the sea and the sky and the air and the light, by the slow world and the long time and the patient dark. And you can let go now, completely, into all that holding, and sink, softly, into sleep. Let the temperature of the world become, in the imagining, only another softness, another layer of the great tranquil wrapping you round. Titan is cold beyond any word for cold, so cold that water there is frozen hard as rock and only methane stays liquid. So cold that the whole world sits deep in a freeze that has held it steady for ages. And yet cold, when you are warm, is only a kind of stillness. Only the deep peaceful a world falls into when it slows all the way down, when its molecules cease their restless motion and settle, when everything comes at last to rest. The cold of Titan is not a harshness. It is the physical shape of its peace, the freeze that lets the seas lie so hushed, that lets the snow drift so slowly, that lets the whole world hold its long patient pose without stirring. And you are warm, wrapped and tucked and warm in your own dim room, your body a small kept ember of heat under its tranquil blanket, so the cold of that far world cannot touch you. It can only be looked upon, the way you might look through a frosted window at a serene white winter field, snug inside, warm inside, watching the deep quiet cold hold the whole world motionless, and finding in it not a threat, but a lullaby. Let the cold out there deepen the warmth in here. Let the great still freeze of Titan make your own small warmth feel all the more like a nest, a burrow, a safe dim kept place, the exact warm tranquil center you were always meant to sleep in, while all around, out past the walls, out past the world, The beautiful cold holds everything gently in place. And notice how far you have come, and how easily, without moving at all. You have crossed 1 billion miles tonight, and never left your bed. You have stood on a shore no human foot has touched, floated on a sea no swimmer has ever swum, flown through an amber sky on wings of your own imagining, drifted down a river older than the sun, watched a golden planet hang enormous over a peaceful dark lake, and felt the slow snow of a distant world fall serene across your quieting mind. And through all of it, your body has lain warm and tender and safe, doing nothing, needing nothing, carried the whole way by nothing more than a peaceful voice and a slow breath and the long patient beauty of a real and distant moon. That is how far the mind can travel while the body rests. That is how gently you can be carried out to the very edge of the known and brought back again, unhurried, unharmed, more at peace than when you left. And now the journey is nearly done, and there is only the coming to rest left, only the final settling, only the last tranquil sinking down into the sleep that has been rising toward you all this long, slow while, patient as a Titan season, certain as a river finding the sea. Rest a while longer in the simple strangeness of it, because the strangeness itself has become, by now, the most soothing thing of all. A world where it rains, but the rain is not water. A world with rivers, but the rivers run with something you could set alight. A world with seas broad enough to lose the horizon, but seas of methane and ethane lying colder than any winter. A world with beaches, but beaches of dark, peaceful soot. A world with dunes, but dunes of frozen haze. A world with snow, but snow that is not frozen water. A world with clouds and rain and rivers and lakes and seas and shores and weather and seasons, every gentle feature of a living planet faithfully present, and every one of them built of the wrong material, at the wrong temperature, under the wrong sky, and none of it wrong at all, none of it frightening, all of it only more wonderful for being made of something else. This is the double gift the title promised, the most Earth-like and the most alien held in a single breath, and now, at the tender end of the night, the two have folded all the way into each other, and there is no seam between them anymore. Only one gentle world that is both at once, familiar enough to rest in, and strange enough to forget yourself in. A shore you know in a place you have never been. Exactly the shore a tired mind most longs to lie down on at the end of a long day. And you are lying down on it now, at last, fully, letting the last of your holding go. The familiar shore is beneath you, and the unfamiliar sky is above you, and the strange slow rain is drifting somewhere far off over the still sea, and you are neither here nor there, neither on Earth nor on Titan, but somewhere low between the two, in the warm, dim borderland where waking slides into sleeping, where the real world and the imagined world blur gently together, and neither one asks anything of you. Let them blur. Let the shore and the bed become one soft-held place. Let the amber sky and the dark of your closed eyes become one warm dimness. Let the slow swells of the methane sea and the slow rise and fall of your own quiet breath become one single rhythm, rocking you down and down and down. You are almost there now. The sleep is almost here. There is only a little further to drift, only a little deeper to sink, only the last faint letting go, and it is coming easily on its own, the way everything on Titan comes, slowly, gently, in its own unhurried time, with nothing at all required of you but to let it. Let one more slow image carry you the last of the way, the image of the tide of this world, so faint it is barely a tide at all, and yet enough. Titan is squeezed and eased by the great pull of Saturn as it circles, and that slow flexing raises the faintest of tides in its seas and even in its solid ice, a rising and falling so gentle and so patient that it takes the whole long circuit of the moon around its planet to complete, a tide measured not in hours but in days, the softest, slowest breathing of a whole world. Feel that great slow tide beneath you now, lifting the slow sea by the smallest degree and letting it settle again, lifting and settling over days and days, the calmest tide in all the solar system, and let your own breath fall into its enormous slow rhythm, in over a long slow count, out over a long slow count, rising as the far tide rises, falling as the far tide falls, until you cannot tell your breath from the breathing of the sea, cannot tell the sea's breath from the slow pull of the ringed planet overhead, cannot tell any of it apart at all, only one vast, slow, gentle rhythm holding you and the sea and the moon and the planet all together in a single unhurried rise and fall. Breathe with the tide of Titan. Let the biggest, slowest, gentlest rhythm there is become the rhythm of your resting body, and let it carry you down. You are so nearly asleep now that the words are becoming only a soft sound, a low murmur at the edge of the low sea, a hush you no longer need to follow, and that is exactly right, exactly as it should be. You do not have to listen anymore. You do not have to picture anything anymore. You do not have to hold the shore or the sea or the sky or the slow rain in your mind any longer. You can let all the images soften and blur and drift away like the last of the haze thinning at the end of the day, and simply rest, held, warm, faint, on the far gentle shore, under the warm dim sky, on the calm dark breathing sea, with the whole patient, beautiful, strange, familiar world keeping its slow, tender watch all around you while you slip, softly, all the way down, into sleep. Stay a little longer on the easy sea, because there is no reason to leave, and every reason to remain, and let the far shore fade entirely from view until there is only the calm dark water, and the low warm sky, and the faint slow breathing of the great slow tide. The rain has stopped. The snow drifts far off, too far to see. The river has long since delivered you to the wide calm lake and dissolved its current into the great stillness, so that even the memory of motion has gone slow now, and you lie on a surface so smooth and so calm that you seem not to be floating on it at all, but resting on the flat face of stillness itself, held up by peace, buoyed by quiet, cradled on the calmest sea on the calmest world the imagination has ever reached. Nothing stirs, nothing calls. The amber sky holds its low even glow without the smallest flicker, and the dark sea holds its perfect calm without the smallest ripple, and you hold your own soft stillness in the exact center of the two, a small warm resting thing in a vast warm resting world, needing nothing, wanting nothing, asked for nothing, complete. This is the place all the drifting was carrying you toward, all along, not a shore, not a destination, but this, the hushed center, the deep calm, the warm low heart of a patient world, where a tired mind may finally set everything down and simply rest. And so you rest. The long day is behind you now, far behind. 1 billion miles and a whole world behind, and it cannot reach you here, and it does not need to. Everything it asked of you has been left on the far shore, set down in the dark soft sand, and you have drifted out past it all onto the calm sea where nothing is asked, and nothing is owed, and nothing is late. There is only this now, the warm dim light, the still dark water, the slow great tide, the easy quiet air, and you, held in the midst of it, breathing slow, sinking hushed, drifting down through the last thin layer of waking into the deep warm sleep that has been waiting for you patiently all this while, as patient as Titan, as patient as its billion-year seas, as patient as the slow rain that has fallen faithfully out of that amber sky since long before you were born and will go, on falling, long after tonight is forgotten. Let it fall. Let it hold you. Let it carry you the rest of the way down. Let the world grow dim around you, one shade at a time, the way a lamp is turned down by a slow and loving hand, the amber sky dimming from bronze toward a deep soft brown, the dark sea dimming with it, the far edges of everything softening and blurring and losing their lines, until the whole strange familiar world is only a warm low glow surrounding you, formless and gentle, like the light behind your own closed eyes. You do not need the shore anymore. You do not need the sea, or the rivers, or the rain, or the golden planet, or any of the images that carried you here. They have done their patient work, and now they may go, drifting off softly into the dimming like haze thinning at the end of the longest day, leaving behind only the feeling they were always for, the deep calm, the safe warmth, the sense of being held and asked for nothing. Let the pictures fade. Let even Titan fade. Let there be, at the last, only the warmth and the stillness and the slow serene breath, only the quiet, only the letting go, only the gentle dark rising up to gather you in. You have arrived exactly where you were always drifting toward, and it is time now to let the last of it dissolve and rest. And now, as everything grows tranquil and low and warm, let the night begin to gather itself toward its close, the way the long Titan day gathers itself slowly toward its long faint evening, unhurried, gentle, certain, drawing all the wandering back toward one serene resting point, toward you, toward this, toward the warm dark bed, and the slow peaceful breath, and the sleep that is here now, truly here, no longer rising but arrived, folding over you as softly and completely as the amber haze folds over the far tranquil sea. Rest here in the warm low dark for one more slow breath, and then another, and let each one carry you a little further into the easy, the way each slow swell of the methane sea carries the calm a little further out across the peaceful dark water. There is no edge to this rest, no far side, no shore you must reach. There is only the deepening, the softening, the slow certain sinking down into a sleep as vast and patient and gentle as the world you have wandered all this night. You are held. You are held. You are warm. You are asked for nothing. And the whole beautiful, strange, familiar universe is keeping its long, slow watch around you faithfully, tenderly, exactly as it always has, so that you may let go of everything now, completely, and rest. Tonight has been about a shore you know in a place you have never been. Tonight has been about rain that is not water, and rivers that are not water, and seas that are not water, and a whole gentle world built faithfully out of something else. Tonight has been about the most Earth-like world we have ever found, and the most alien, held together in a single tender breath. Tonight has been about the slow methane rain drifting down through the amber haze, taking its long, unhurried time, slow enough to walk between. Tonight has been about the branching rivers running their patient way to the wide still lakes and the calmest seas in all the solar system, smooth as poured glass, flat as a held breath. Tonight has been about the soot-dark dunes and the soft organic snow, the hidden warm ocean turning in the deep dark, the great golden planet hanging silent over the tender water. Tonight has been about a little lander falling gently for 2.5 hours through the orange sky, and 3.5 centuries of patient people who reached, slowly, across the dark, just to see. Tonight has been about the light that never sharpens, and the seasons that never hurry, and the tide so slow it breathes over days. Tonight has been about being carried, and being held, and being asked for nothing at all. You are held. You are held. You are held by the sea, and the sky, and the soft thick air, and the low warm light. You are safe. You are safe. You are safe. In your warm dim room, under your soft blanket, in the deep quiet of the night. You can let go. You can let go. You can let go. Of the day, of the holding, of everything you carried out onto the shore and left there in the dark, slow sand. And none of this needs anything from you tonight. The slow sea does not need you to watch it stay calm. The slow rain does not need you to hear it fall. The rivers will run to their lakes, and the snow will drift onto the dunes, and the hidden ocean will turn in the dark, and the golden planet will hang over the water, all of it keeping itself, all of it holding its own long, patient peace, whether or not you are awake to know it. There is nothing left for you to do. There is nothing left for you to hold. The whole vast, gentle universe has been keeping itself together, tenderly, for billions of years before you, and will keep itself for billions after. And it can surely keep itself through this one quiet night while you rest, asking nothing of you, needing nothing from you, wanting only to hold you softly on its farthest, gentlest shore, and let you sleep. And when this quiet exploration comes to its close, there is another one already waiting on the screen, another slow drift to another distant place, ready to begin all on its own. So you need not reach for anything, need not choose, need not lift a hand. Let it begin on its own, softly if it will, another calm voice carrying you to another far gentle shore while you stay exactly where you are, warm and low and sinking, held by the dark. You do not have to follow it. You do not have to stay awake for it. Let it drift in quietly behind you as you go, one more slow, gentle world keeping watch while you sleep. I wonder, as you drift, which shore you will find yourself on when the morning comes, and whether some faint amber light or some far faint sea will linger softly at the edge of your dreams. You do not have to answer. You do not have to wonder at all. Let the question dissolve as softly as it came, another slow flake settling onto the hushed ground of your mind, and let it go dark, and let it go easy. And now let your body grow soft and heavy and warm, from the crown of your head down through your loosening face, your easing shoulders, your heavy serene arms, your slow rising and falling chest, your softening belly, your settling hips, your heavy resting legs, all the way down to your hushed and peaceful feet, every part of you letting go, every part of you sinking down, every part of you held. Your breath is slow now, slow as the swells, slow as the tide, rising and falling on its own without the smallest effort, carrying you down and down and down. The warm dark has closed over you as softly as the amber haze over the far still sea. There is nothing to hold. There is nothing to do. There is nowhere to be but here, warm and safe and drifting on the calmest sea, on the gentlest shore of the most beautiful, strange, familiar world there is. Rest now. Drift now. Let the slow tide carry you the rest of the way down, out past the last of the waking, into the deep, warm, patient dark where the sleep has been waiting for you all along. Sleep well,